Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to What the Art, a podcast where we come together to talk about artsy stuff.
Each episode, we take up a topic and share our personal opinions on it.
And here's a kicker, we actually may not have the same opinion, so we might have some disagreements here and there.
And today's topic is going to be about passion.
Yes, passion is going to be today's topic for this podcast. So yeah, guys, like we'll just introduce ourselves for the people who are listening to our podcast for the very first time. So Gokul, go ahead, man.
Yeah, like you said, I'm Gokul. And so I run a company called My Copy Madcap.
Why are you talking as if you're talking in some nighttime radio show?
Really?
You're like, oh, I'm Gokul. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so I'm going to do that again, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm Gokul, I run this company called Madcap. We are a design studio based out of Chennai.
That's awesome. So I'm Kesh, I'm an illustrator and a YouTuber. I make films and drawings and tell stories through visual stuff.
Okay, I'm Sri. I'm a freelance illustrator, and I work for creative agencies and independent commissions, and predominantly on caricatures and portraitures.
And I'm Aditya. I'm a black and white charcoal artist. That's
pretty much it.
that's pretty much it. I'm the more inexperienced one here. I'm yet to build up my resume.
Dude, stop saying that, man.
You are an NRI, okay? That's good
Yeah,
enough.
that's good enough. You need to tell people what an NRI is. NRI is like a non-resident of India, right?
Technically, I am a resident of India because see, we have an address here. I guess you could say I'm a dual citizen because I have a citizenship of the United States and I also have a citizenship of India.
Of India, right. Anyways, so guys, today's topic, like we're gonna rotate stuff. So today I'm gonna be the mediator. So I'm gonna be the bus conductor today. So I'm gonna do the whistles and stuff. I'm not gonna whistle literally, but anyways. So today's topic is gonna be all about passion, or quote unquote passion, because I'm gonna play the devil's advocate today, and how to find your passion, or I'm gonna throw a curveball here during the middle of this podcast, or even might be, I might do it in the very beginning. But yeah, so here's the deal. So we're gonna talk about how to sort of find the work we love, or how do we find passion of something like that. And here's the curveball. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, Shri and Adi, I don't know they know this. Goku sort of figured it out because I posted an Instagram story. So that's how I did it.
Oh, I saw that story. I know what you're talking about. Is that the curveball?
That's not like curve. I'm not sure where you guys stand. So if you guys agree with me, then that might not be a curveball. But yeah. Anyways, so
I know what you're talking about. So,
that is good then. That is good then. So the title of this episode is like how to find your passion, right? But I'm going to go ahead and I'm at the end of this talk, if the title, I'm going to convince you guys to title this episode as, or I'm going to play present a case study for my point, and hopefully we end up titling this episode as why follow your passion is bad advice and what to do instead, or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. I saw that coming.
You saw that coming? Yeah.
I saw that.
So anyway.
I never saw your story, so that's quite a surprise for me.
Oh yeah? You didn't? What was that?
I didn't see you check your story on Instagram. I just checked it now, and yeah.
Right. Anyway, dude, I think there's some. What the hell was that?
This shitty fucking.
Okay, PG-13, guys. PG-13.
I think we've got to beep that out.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think there's some serious vibe that's going on right now. We all need to like loosen the hell up right now.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, there's some last podcast we were all like laughing and and having fun. And once we heard Gokul's wife tell us to like stop stop laughing and get to the point, we were like, so serious, guys. We're gonna talk about passion today, right?
And that's the point where we increase our laughter even more.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you know what? Let's get to the stuff. And today,
Yes.
Before that, I want to do this little segment which I copied from another podcast, which is not nice. But no, what are you guys up to? Like, how are things? What are you guys working on? It would be the question. Like, what project are you guys working on? What are you working on, Shri, right now?
Right now I'm working on a personal project, which is called What the Art, a
Damn,
podcast.
really? Really?
Very subtle. Very subtle.
On the creative end, I'm working on a set of caricatures for a stand-up comedy club based in Mumbai.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing that on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a discrete project. As you know, they've been rolling out one artwork at a time, and I really can't reveal that right away. And also, I've been working on another creative personal project of mine for my portfolio purposes, and I just wrapped up a few commissions. A commission for Netflix, and I wrapped up another. A freelance project for again another just individual clients. So yeah, but this is pretty much what we do on a daily basis. So yeah, but for now it's only the stand-up comedy club and this
one.
my personal projects. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And Adi, what about you, man?
Wow, how do I top that, man?
Yeah, we all trust me. We all lost it at. I'm doing a commission for Netflix.
Exactly. How do you top that, man? I just didn't do Netflix. Like anything I say now will be kind of rendered. But that being said, I mean, I am kind of working on a couple of like ideas. I haven't executed them yet. Now I already talked about them, but I guess it's still in the planning phase. I actually had this idea of maybe collaborating with photographers. There's a bunch of photographers that I know, and a bunch of friends that are also photographers on Instagram. And I want to do kind of like a human series, because I think up until now, anyone who's viewed my work on Instagram has seen that they're primarily based upon movies and pop culture and mainstream media, things like that.
Right.
I want to expand my horizons. I mean, there's so much more inspiration out there that you can draw from. And I really like the idea of photographers. They do such a beautiful job with capturing emotion, evoking up a type of feeling in the photography.
Oh, I think it just got cut there a little bit. Yeah. No, mind. We're good right now.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I know. I was just saying that there are so many photographers out there with like immense talent, and they really know how to invoke a particular feeling, a particular emotion to the photographs that they take, whether it be still life or portrait photography or anything. And I kind of want to replicate that in some of my artwork. So I really want to do like a human series where I collaborate with some photographers and borrow their work and see if I can recreate it, giving it my own touch or my own sort of style of flair.
Right.
See how that goes. I think that would definitely build a lot of relationships with other people, as well as kind of even, it would be something new for me as well. It's something I haven't done before. And I'm really excited at the thought of it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Great then. And what about you, dude?
Me? Nothing as artistic as you guys, though.
Yeah, he's a business dude, yeah. So
I'm the random dude over here. So so we're working on end of summer sale for our products, and we're also working on a few products that we're going to launch for 2020. And best of all, I'm really glad that we're working on masterclass workshops with some really cool artists that we're going to launch hopefully in a week's time. So yeah, so it's we still some artsy stuff, but then nothing literally artsy.
Artsy.
So, but then
he's
it's
the
gonna
art
be,
manager, right?
but it's gonna be it's gonna be very fun, and yeah, hoping for a very nice end of summer.
That's nice. That's nice. So me, what I'm working on, dude. What am I working on? So yeah, I'm working on my YouTube show, which is called the Kesh Show. So that is going good, and I'm making these video essays on creative subjects and topics for YouTube, and that's my YouTube side of things. So YouTube channel is pretty, taking off. It's nice, it's growing. So that is one, and I'm focusing on my challenge 100 days of sketching. The coolest thing about that is like when this challenge started 50 days ago, so yesterday was day 50, and when we started this challenge there were 7,000 posts on Instagram under the hashtag 100 days of sketching. Right now we have 30,000 posts. So
30,000.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Wow.
30.
That's a really good outreach, man.
I know, right? It's crazy, dude. Like, more, at least I'm sure at least over like 1,000 people have, at least, no, at least 2,000 people have over like at least drawn one drawing for this challenge, and over like 800 to 1,000 people are like participating or regularly on this challenge, or like here and there and everything. And it's so that's a
You
good.
know what? Actually, I think we got a message in. I don't know if it's what the art Instagram or my copy piece Instagram.
Uh-huh.
We got a message of a girl showing a photo of her 100 days of sketching.
Oh,
the
yeah.
calendar that you have.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she's like, what? I actually follow Kesh. I'm doing this stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm on
Damn.
this particular date and stuff. So
This is
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, very nice, man. I think it's going to help a lot of people
Yeah.
to have a particular timeline and a plan on.
I know,
art
right?
regularly.
It really helps them with the consistency, and I've been receiving a lot of messages on that. Yeah.
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
because,
even me.
me myself. Me and consistency don't get along very well. So I think this is something that I could definitely.
But I think
use
whatever
to-
we do on a daily basis, it's only with the consistency we're going to see some results. Like I always say,
True,
it's
true.
like I keep chanting this all the time in my daily life as well to people that I speak to.
Oh yeah,
So
man. So true. So that is one, and 100 days of sketching, and the third thing is I'm working on my digital course. So I'm trying to convert my workshops into like an online course. So that is going on, and it's not going to sound as cool as your Netflix gig, Shri, but but I don't
everything
know.
is special when it comes to creative
You're the
entities.
top spot here.
Come
Yeah, but Google, there's a project from Google reached out to me who wanted to like convert my videos into like books for kids. So that is something.
What the hell? Wow, that's amazing, man.
This is like a mini.
That's nice.
This is like a mini or one of those weirdo projects. Not. Am I calling some of the people who are trying to work with me weirdos? No. This is one of those exclusive project thingies they have at Google. Experimental projects, or Project X is what they call it. And they just like throw darts and see what sticks. And one of them is like books for kids, and they want to like turn YouTubers' books into YouTubers' videos into kids' books. So
Wow.
Yeah.
that is one.
That's nice. That's quite informative.
I
That
hope,
is
I hope
awesome.
I get an email from one of these top guys at least once in my lifetime. So yeah, I mean, the
Me too.
name dropping that you guys do is like, I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Even dude, trust me. Even this thing sounds surreal for me. I mean,
Amazing, man. Amazing.
but good that we are all working on something and working towards something. Actually we should do this thing every once in a while, so that we'll be like motivated to work and get our own Netflix gigs.
Sure.
So yeah, when it comes to this outreaching thing and helping out people and spreading awareness, or impacting a crowd on a daily basis, workshops and all these projects really help a lot. And even for me, like I said in the previous episode of our podcast, I've been conducting workshops for the same intention as well. So I've been doing, and also I'm working on another online course, of course. That's something which is under the blankets right now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I've been working on it since a long time, forever it's been, but my bad, haven't got some real time to squeeze out too much out of it.
I get you.
I
I
really
get
hope.
you. I get you. Trust me.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. So I neither couldn't stop planning it. At the same time, I couldn't stop accepting freelance projects as well. It's like maintaining a subtle balance between two and failing all the time.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's tough to maintain a balance, when it comes to personal stuff and professional stuff.
Oh
But
yes.
that's
Oh
the key to
yes.
success.
Yeah, I mean both are related to profession in the same place. I mean it's both are related to art, but still, you know, when you're getting paid for a project, you shouldn't complain.
Of
True, true.
course.
Yeah, yeah. So
This is putting a roof over your head, right? Of course. Anyways,
yes, exactly.
yeah, let's get to the topic of the day. All right. So yeah, the thing is, we're gonna start off by talking about our own experience. Why are you laughing?
And I was like, what
I
exactly is
I think
passion?
Gokul is anticipating the 5-year-old drawing thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
You
put
know
up a
what? I was
poll.
actually telling him before the conversation about age 5 or something, right?
Yeah, you put up a poll on Instagram saying how many people. What was that again?
Well, actually, I put out a poll on Instagram on all my pages saying, asking people how many people actually know what they were doing at age of 5. Because I actually got an email from a person, from an artist, saying that she started drawing at the age of 5. And that's like a day after I got done with the podcast. When these guys were like, they're like, we started drawing at the age of 5. I was like, pissed off, okay. I asked my mom what I was doing at the age of 5. She's like, I have no clue what you were doing last year. So
Probably.
so I was pissed off. I put out a post, and you know what? The results were actually pretty interesting.
Are they really?
It's actually 50-50, right? 50% of the people actually know
Remember?
what they do, know
Or maybe
what
they
they
were
did.
pretending that they knew.
Or something.
Yeah, or
Like that.
maybe they pretended that they know. Yeah.
Yeah, see, but then let's say even if it's skewed, let's say to like 20%, right? Then let's say 50% of or 40% of people know what they do, what they did at age of 5, and the remaining they actually don't remember what they did at age of 5, right? So actually, I feel pretty happy that I did that because I know that I'm part of a big number of people, and I know that I'm not just a weird guy who doesn't know what I did do at age of 5.
That is good.
Well, it might sound a bit weird, but I remember what I did around when I was 5, but I don't remember the rest of it.
Yeah, I remember crapping
So-
my pants, so yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, I have no shame, man. I'm telling you, I'm an artist, right? You have to get through all this stuff. And you need
Yeah.
to put yourself out there. Like, what? Every 4-year-old, 5-year-old must have crapped their pants at least once in their life. It's not like something.
Yeah.
It's not like I was that one kid who did that. Anyways, for me crapping my pants, let's get to the topic. We're like going crazy off topic today. We haven't even started yet. So yeah, passion. How to find your passion, how to develop your passion, and why follow your passion is exactly not the great or the best advice, and why that very advice is actually making people unhappy and unfulfilled. And yeah, that's my theory. Anyway, so what exactly is passion? Actually, I stole this quote from Google, Google's dictionary. So, passion apparently is an intense desire or enthusiasm for something. So, I think that pretty much nails it down, right? So, what do you? So, guys, like, how would you all define passion? Because we need to, if we are talking about passion on this episode, we need to know exactly like how we see passion as. Like, how do you guys see it? Adi, what about you, man?
Wow, you really caught me off guard. But no, I agree with Google's definition. Yes, it is a fair sound. An intense desire or longing to do something that you really love. And no matter how you spin that definition, no matter what you say, I think all of that's irrelevant. It really, in the end, boils down to, do you like what you do? It could be anything. It could be anything.
But
And
how would you just like if you had to quickly define it within a sentence, how would you define it?
doing something that gives you immense personal satisfaction.
Okay, something that gives you immense satisfaction. That is good. And what about you, Shri?
Yeah, so I have a different take on it. I mean, it's of course it boils down to the same thing, but I think it's something which you love to do all the time, but it constantly makes you feel shitty and and which never lets you sleep and which never lets you arrive at a point of satisfaction.
Right.
which leads to sleepless nights, and where you're always hungry about progression. I think that's what passion is for me.
I think that's a very realistic take
That is,
on
yeah,
what
yeah. I was,
that.
I would define it close to something like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna skip on this thing. How would you define it, Gokul?
I actually think passion is overrated.
Ah, yes,
And,
my boy. We're on the same team right here. No, we'll get to
Become an
that
artist and say
disagreement
that
part,
thing.
But what exactly is passion?
See, for me, for me, passion is about not about what you actually do; it's about what you want to achieve, right? So I think the Google meaning, it says an intense desire or enthusiasm for something. But like what Adi was saying, that he's passionate about what he's actually doing, or whatever stuff that he's feeling fulfillment in. But actually, you know what? For me, passion is not doing business. For me, passion is to be free. For me, whatever I do to be free is my passion, right? So it could be me riding an auto, or me running a Fortune 500 company. It doesn't matter. For me, I want to be free. Like I can wake up in the morning. I don't want to do anything at all. I want to be that kind of free, right? So that comes when you are like financially completely free or mentally free, whatever, right? So for me, passion is about what you want to achieve, and how you go towards that. I think that's what matters. I think the journey, for me, the journey doesn't matter a lot. For me, the goal matters most.
Okay, okay. You like the destination.
Yeah, I don't care what the journey is, not that much,
journey.
but then for me, the end result matters.
Really, that is interesting. For me, the journey has to be equally interesting, or at least, I mean, of course, you need to aim big, and I want that big goal. But for me, the journey needs to be equally interesting. Or if the process is boring for me,
Yeah.
I know that I won't stick to it. What do
Yeah,
you
it's
think?
I
always
agree
the-
with Kesh because the journey is where you as an individual, that's where the growth happens. That's where the self discovery happens. And I mean, if you reach the destination or the end game in like 2 steps or like 1 step without anything happening in the middle, I think that would kind of defeat the purpose. It would feel rather anticlimactic, don't you think?
See, but
At
that's
least I
when.
think so.
Sorry, so but that's when you're not anticipating towards the goal, right? That's when you're anticipating towards the journey. If your focus is just on the goal rather than not on the journey and what you experience on a day-to-day basis, I don't think it matters at all. So you'll anyway by default enjoy a journey, because you know, okay, if I'm going to go through this, I'm going to achieve that big thing, that massive thing, right? So if your focus is all on that big massive thing, you enjoying what you do or you not enjoying what you do wouldn't matter a lot. See, for me, from an artist perspective, I have no clue what drives you guys, or what passion means. But from a business perspective, right? For me, let's say I wanna earn, let's say, 1 lakh rupee this month. But then my passion is about driving cars and racing cars, right? But my goal is to earn 1 lakh rupees per month. I can't race cars and earn 1 lakh rupees because I know that's not going to happen. But probably I can sell something, go to each and every person I know of, sell something, and actually earn that particular goal, right?
Okay.
For me, the passion is about how am I going to get to that goal, achieve that goal, and for me, I'm satisfied to the fullest when I achieve that goal, right? Rather than me just through the journey.
Right. Actually, you know what? I get what you're trying to say, but we need to save that topic of the goals and journey for another whole episode, for another
Got it.
podcast. But I would actually
We have the
disagree.
business guy for a reason.
Yeah, I would actually disagree with you on a couple of that, because I've found that most of the time when I reach a particular goal, I've always found it to be sort of like what next? That's it, something like that. So I had to
So
like.
I stopped believing in having a goal or something like that.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
when you say it's always a timely block by block, which forms a foundational building. That's where and after that, what's next? Where if I the reason why I said I stopped believing in a destination is because there's always another goal or another aim or another destination where you want to be, and you're always dissatisfied about what you did, and you keep looking for the further steps, and you keep hustling no matter what. So I think that's what matters. For that very reason, In fact, you need to enjoy the journey as equally as how interested you are on your so-called goal or destination or whatever it is you call.
I also believe that
whole thing is interesting.
the harder you work at something,
Mm.
the sweeter the victory feels. Because when you really pour blood, sweat, and tears, and you really go all out on a particular thing that you really want to see become fruitful, and you will do anything it takes, you will do whatever it takes to make sure you get the best possible result. And in that process of really hard work, I think by the time you actually get to that destination, as said, or the goal, it just feels much more earned and rewarding, and it's a much sweeter victory because you have went through that journey of growth, or whatever it may be.
That that
Apart from
matters.
these, yeah, apart from these series, there is always a thing called desperation of movement. So, so we really can't talk, especially being an artist.
anyways, again, wow, we're going in depth into each and every single words, and it's so damn good. Oh yeah, but we have to stick to the topic, man.
Yes.
Damn it. Okay.
We are right to the topic here.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's my case, or here's I think this the people who are listening to this particular episode of this podcast, right? I think they are probably people who are like us, who are sort of trying to figure their way out in the world in terms of like what exactly is passion, or how to sort of find your passion, or how to live your passion, or whatever passion. I hate this whole new age hippie nonsense.
I think the word passion is being abused. Like
Abused.
anything, right?
I know. So yeah. So here's my theory. Here's my thing. I think follow your passion, or try to find your passion, is the worst advice you can actually give to a person who's sort of upcoming. I'm not saying you shouldn't live a passionate life. Now, here's a clarification. I'm not saying that you shouldn't live a passionate life. I'm not saying that the work you do shouldn't be passionate. All I'm trying to say is the strategy that you go about achieving that, or trying to find your passion, which exactly isn't, you're not sort of finding your passion. My what do you say? My perspective would be this: you will never sort of find your passion. You can only develop and build your passion. Yeah, you can sort of create your passion. So this is where our story comes in, right? I'm gonna give you, I know, like at the end of this podcast, I have like a couple of list of things that I have, like what people can do instead, or how I did instead. And Gokul's got like
But does it still make sense when you start drawing at age 5?
What do you mean?
You said that you just have to develop your passion and go on with it and figure out what it is, right? But does it still make sense for an artist who starts drawing at age 5? Do you think he or she would have
an inside joke.
Do you think
Not especially, to be honest,
I'm not
something
getting the
which
question
is
actually. Go.
So you said that people doesn't necessarily, they don't have to follow their passion, but
I'm
they'll
not
have to
saying they
develop
should
it. They'll have to
yeah.
develop it as
Right.
they go.
Right.
But what I'm trying to understand is, let's say an artist, obviously most of the artists get to draw at age 5. I
Right.
don't know how,
Right.
but then if they do you think they've already found their passion, or is it just a thought that they have on their head? You know what, I'm good at it.
No, it's sort of like a positive feedback loop. You make a drawing when you're like at age 5. You make a drawing. Your mom will be like, oh, you know what, sweetheart, or bhaiya, that drawing is so cute. You should do another drawing. You have this little positive reinforcement, and you do another thing, and you slightly get good at that craft, and you are sort of meaningfully engaged in that particular thing, and that one thing builds upon another, and at the end of it, you'll be like, oh damn, I've been drawing for like 15 years right now, and I'm good at it. And that skill and that positive reinforcement, and you doing that thing, you getting good at that thing, is what actually turns into passion, rather than you have something. Here's how I think most people see passion as. They see it as some sort of like a thing that falls into their lap, or thing that's that's it's like a ball or something, which they find. Then once they find it, they're set for life, and they're gonna what do you say, be happy and fulfilled with their work. I think that's where the problem is, and that's why I'm saying that follow your passion is a bad advice.
I think I have a different, slightly different meaning for passion, right? So I think I kind of agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
But I think people think passion is something that they're kind of okay at. They think, okay, this is what I like, and I'm going to be passionate about it, right? But you know what? Actually, you should be probably passionate about what you're actually good at, like what you said, right? Like you've been drawing for, let's say, 15 years, and you know you're pretty good at it. And by default, you become passionate about what you're drawing and your art and stuff, and you grow on it, right? But I think there are a lot of people out there who are like, you know what? I like something. You know what? I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
But they're actually not good at it. And when people say follow your passion to them, they're like blindly going after what they like and what they're actually not good at.
People should, that is true. Sorry, what was that?
This is more like how it goes when they say, you know, you don't chase your love, you know, you fall in love. You know, it's just the same thing. You know, it might sound a bit profound, but but it makes a lot of sense, because I never knew that, you know, I was a passionate artist, or art chose me, or I chose art. It was never that stressful enough. I never felt that it was my passion in the first place. The thing was, like I usually say, I knew that I'm not, you know, I wasn't cut out for the academics. I knew what I was not good at in the first place. You know, that's more important. You know, you need to know the negative space.
Something in common.
Yeah, you need to know your, know where you lack it in the first place, so that you can concentrate more on what you're good at, so that, you know, you can reinforce the same energy onto the different dimension where you're trying to, better yourself more. Because coming to my case, you know, each and everyone has a different learning curve, or self lessons to themselves and all, but. Right from the childhood, I've been drawing as a kid. You know, I'm off the grid. You know, I won't say 5-year-old anymore. So I've been drawing throughout my whole conscious life. If you ask me, I don't remember anything else except that. I don't remember studying at home. I don't remember studying at school. I don't remember following all the numbers or theories, or whatever you call.
This is some hardcore stuff right here, man.
Parents are from India, right?
What?
Your parents are from India, right?
So this was a point where a friend of mine in the classroom started sketching, and few other people also, especially my mom, wanted me to draw as well, and she wanted me to see how I'd be performing there. And I drew Popeye the Sailor for the first time, and it was actually decent, went out quite decent. So just like you said, the positive feedback which keeps us pushing all the time, you know, could be from the audiences or from the mother or father. You know, that's what which kept me pushing in the beginning stages. And after that, I was stuck to it, and later on the Cartoon Network happened, and all these stuff happened, and I kept drawing and drawing and drawing, like we discussed in the previous discussions of ours. So it happened. I enjoyed drawing. I never knew that it was my passion.
Yes.
I just had a light bulb.
So, like I said, I only enjoyed what I drew, and I did not enjoy what I was doing at school. You know, I did not enjoy. Underline that. So I knew what I was not good at. I knew that. Okay, I see. Basically, I consider myself a very slow brain person. You know, but at least, you know, I can proudly say that I'm not that dumb enough to not know about where I lack it in the first place. So I was a smart kid, you know, because I knew what I was not good at, and I tapped that area where I was trying to be good on a daily basis. I tried to polish that little tiny dimension of mine, the artsy dimension, and I just got better, not with the hard work I say, or the willpower or passion or commitment. All these fancy words we say it today, but back then it was only fun. It was only fun. That's it.
Yes.
I used to enjoy drawing Pokemon so much. I used to enjoy drawing cartoons so much. I used to enjoy drawing movie posters. So that fun part, that never-ending enthusiasm, is something which made my skill subconsciously better.
Dude, you
by
just
days.
proved my point. The point I'm trying to make. Yeah, you just proved it.
My answer literally is an exact repeat of what Sri just said.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to every word he's saying because my story is more or less the same. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
And later on, after 18 years or 19 years, when someone said that this is passion, then I say that, so art is my passion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you didn't even realize it was your passion until.
Yeah, it's not
Dude,
like it's not like I didn't know what was it.
that
it
is-
was
all
my
right.
subconscious decision was right
Yeah.
before my schooling. I wanted to be an artist. It didn't have it never had anything to do with the word passion. I just thought that this is what I'm good at, and this is what I'm going to pursue because this is something which is going to earn me some bread and butter onto the table. So yeah,
Right, right.
that was something which was quite practical.
You're good at what you did. You
yeah.
liked what you did.
Yeah,
and
I
you
enjoyed
saw
it.
you saw a means to use it as an option to
Exactly.
put bread and butter
Yeah.
on the table.
Of course, there are always an unspoken things about the struggles we went through. Of course, we'll discuss it as we get along with the episode.
Sure. Well, what was the light bulb moment, Gokul? What was that?
So this is not related to your passionate
Thing?
stuff,
Okay, uh-huh.
but then it's related to when I stopped doing drawing.
When you stopped drawing? Okay.
Yeah. So it just went in my head. Okay, so I believe I was in like fourth or fifth, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So I think my drawing teacher told me to draw Mickey Mouse or something, and I had no clue what the hell was it. I had no idea what to draw.
You didn't know what Mickey Mouse was when you
I mean, how to draw per se.
Okay,
So,
right.
and I think I was a Shaktiman kid than a
Yeah, that's an Indian superhero. by the way,
Shaktiman
guys,
kid
yeah.
than a.
R.I.P.
And so the thing is, I remember
He died?
this. I remember what he died. I know.
No.
What the hell? No.
Right, never mind. He said RIP, never mind, you go on.
So the thing is, I remember this vividly. That particular night, evening, I came back home. I told my mom that my drawing teacher has told me to draw a Mickey Mouse, and she said, "Okay, go and draw." I have no clue how to draw it. Then I begged my mom not her to draw, to give the paper to a girl who's opposite in my house to
That's
draw.
passion right there. Passion to make other people work.
And my mom had to walk across the road, go to that particular girl. I think she was like 4-5 years older to me, and she drew it for me, obviously. But then that's when I decided, you know what? I'm never going to ask anybody to draw. It was good, so I'm never going to draw myself as well. Stop.
See that is like an example of some sort of like a minute little what do you say? I wouldn't say negative, but more on the minus side of reinforcement. Then you went in the other direction.
Yeah.
I think I could have been a Picasso, right?
Yeah, you should have definitely. But again, here's my point. Here's my thing. Here's my opinion on all of these things. You see, each and every single people have different kinds of temperament, right? One would be suited to a particular job more than another person. One might be an introverted, one might be extroverted, one might be more conscientious, or one might be more industrious, or one might be more optimistic, and another might be more of a realist type deep guy. So I think people sort of fall into a particular profession if they allow themselves to do that, into a particular thing. And here's why I say, like, people shouldn't exactly try to find their passion, because most people when they say they want to find their passion, they're looking for an all or nothing answer. As if they're looking for something. Once they find it, they're set for life, and that thing is not going to change. And there lies an inherent problem within that itself, which is
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
When you say, look, when somebody says, oh, look, I need to find my passion. I think honestly, you're trying to look for. I think you're trying to create something out of thin air, or look for something that isn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're kind of. I would almost say you're kind of trying too hard. It's like, oh, I have to find my passion.
Yeah, and I mean,
What is my passion?
precisely, it's like, you thinking about sleeping and you end up being an insomniac.
True. Yeah, people are like sort of, they're trying to nail that thing down, and the problem with trying to do that is, I'm trying to articulate what I'm thinking here. The problem with doing that, which is like sort of honing in on trying to find your passion when you're really young, which is, I think it's not a good pursuit, meaning you don't know who you are, you don't know what you like, and you're trying to find the thing that you're going to stick to for the rest of your life, and which will backfire, because it's like you're trying to marry your high school girlfriend when you were like 14. It's not going to work out. You might end up not liking a 24-year-old version, right? Or a 30-year-old version, right? So it's a weird place to be, and that's the problem. That's the problem when you give out a spouted advice, and people are like, you know what? I'm going to start working on something after I find my passion. But when in reality is, you'll only find your passion when you start working on something. It's like they're trying to steer a car that isn't moving.
So
that's the problem. Yeah.
Do you have to be passionate about what you're working? I think I think I have this question.
What do you mean?
Do you have to be passionate about what you're actually working on, right? So see, I like what I'm doing, but I'm passionate about racing cars.
Okay.
And so a lot of my friends who are really good at what they do, but they're passionate about something else that's completely different, right? I've seen a lot of my friends who are like, you know what, I'm a really good chef, but I'm passionate about soap opera.
Okay.
And there's other guy who's like, I'm really good at journalism, but I'm passionate about writing poems.
I have like
so
go on.
That's a different question that I have, right? So do we have to be passionate about what we do for a living? I think it's a big question. You don't have to be, right?
It helps to be passionate about what you do for a living.
Yeah, speaking about that, we have lots of questions, I have received regarding on the same lines.
Even me, I think when we put out the questions for the first episode, we had a lot of questions pertaining to this very topic.
I think people are quite confused or paranoid about how to find their passion, or how to pursue their passion on a daily basis, like for the day jobs, replacing the day jobs or something.
Yeah, true. On that, right? Here's the problem here. People are sort of annoyed by that feeling, or that or trying to find that thing, because they have unrealistic expectations in their head of what it means to be a passionate person. They think once they find their passion, they're going to be like, oh my god, I'm waking up every single day feeling awesome at 100%. That is so not true. Like go. I want to ask you on this, since you're the only married guy right here, right? I just pulled it right.
I'm happily married.
Happily married. No, that is true.
He's blocking the gate.
No. See, my wife is going to listen to this. Okay, so I'm really happy.
Exactly. That's the reason why you're blocking the gate.
I'm not going to throw your marriage under the bus. Don't worry. But like if you like any relationship, right? Like not every day is going to be awesome, right? There are going to be
right. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Right.
So there are going to be days where you're going to be at a level wherein you can't be with that person, and there are going to be days when you like, I cannot be without this person, right? So I'm talking about that kind of passion. So
right. You just got scared.
That's true. That's true.
So see, passionate people are kind of cool. It's to be. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, it's cool to be passionate about something, but then that doesn't have to be how you earn your living, is my opinion.
Yes, that is true. And also to use passion as your standard of guidance, or your compass. To use passion as your life compass is not a useful thing. It's like using happiness as your life compass. Like all of these things are fleeting moments of emotions, and in my little experience, I'm just like a young dude. Like, yeah, don't listen to advice from young dudes, but from my experience, all these things are fleeting. it's better you find something that's more tangible and useful, and it helps to have all these emotions into your thing. But to depend on these things and use it as the main mode of guidance is like a very bad thing. This how I see it. What was it, Shri? You're saying something.
Yeah, I have a different take on it, but it revolves around the same subject though. But so
what is it? Yeah.
If one is trying to make their hobby or passion become their day jobs or something which they want to do every day, I know people who are quite good at what they do, and what they call it their passion,
Right.
and they pursue it every day, and they earn well enough to sustain for the rest of the next 40 or 50 years already. So there are exceptions in every case, if you ask me, and more than what we can imagine. At the same time, it all depends on how consistent and how you perceive, or how eccentric you are with that particular thing you do. It's something like, I am good at something. So what if I want to earn something out of it, but it's something which is very niche in this particular
Right.
region.
Right.
That's the key point here. The niche. You need to tap that niche area where people would receive you, and that niche should run your daily life, all your expenses, and whatever it is.
So wait, you're talking about making a living out of your passion.
Making a living, or making that a possibility at least. Wherever you go, all these financial sutras, they say, no matter which profession you're following, they always say that start to make a secondary source of income. No matter if you're even though you are a business guy, even though you work as an investment banker, they still say that make
No, that's actually
make a second source of
100%
income.
true.
Which one?
Yeah,
Try to make a second.
yeah, of course it is. It is true. So
Diversify your income.
yeah.
I do that. I've gotten into that like a year back. So there is always helps. Yeah. So go on.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
agree with Sri because
So that's always it's always so I'm not going to touch that subject because it's constant whichever profession you follow. So that particular suggestion is something which is very useful and which is true to the point. But with the passion you have in your hand, earning something out of it and earning a decent living out of it is something which only depends on how we practice that, how we nurture that on a daily basis. It's not like you polish it off and post it on Instagram and you make it look fancy, or you make it sound fancy. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think we're sort of getting far ahead into the conversation. Like I think passion is a subject first we need to discuss about, like, or finding or developing a passion. Then making a living out of your passion is like a completely different ball game, if you ask me. And I come from different perspectives in the sense, like, I don't think not everyone should be making a living out of their so-called quote-unquote passion. Sometimes
the thing why I was veered away from the subject was both of these things are extremely interrelated and tightly knitted, and they go hand in hand, and most of the people are refining themselves for the same reason. It's like they go ahead with the passion, with the decision, and right on the second day they realize that, okay, I'm not going to make a living out of it, and let's step back again. So it's like they go hand in hand every day. It's just like Gokul said, just like you said. It's not a bed of roses all the time. But like you said, people have a wrong assumption about finding their passion. It's like, once I find my passion, I'm going to be happy ever after.
Right.
So it's not like that. You wake up feeling shitty all the time, every day. Sometimes, it's just like life. You feel constipated in some mornings, and you feel you feel depressed on some other mornings, and you feel joyous and positive on some other day. It depends. It's very much subjective. It's never a smooth ride. I still struggle. I still yesterday I woke up with an intention of sketching something, but I ended up doing nothing because I couldn't draw. There was a lot of lag happening. I didn't know what it was. I was trying to figure it out, and there I go. I slept.
I hear one of those days, man.
Yeah, I think my answer kind of lies between all three of your answers. I'd say honestly, because I agree with all of you on some points.
Wait, what is the question actually?
Which question?
Wait, so I'll bring some questions, Adi. So what do you think So do you think follow your passion or finding your passion is good advice, or what do you think? What do you think about this?
Well, I think it's just as we were discussing right now, finding your passion and following your passion, they're kind of related, but they also mean two different things. Uh,
Oh wait, how would they be different?
so now, see, finding your passion, I think it's the discussion that
Oh
we
yeah,
were
it is
having.
actually true. Yeah, right.
But before we were having this finding blindly saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go find my passion, guys. Peace out." That's it. It doesn't work that way. And then following your passion could mean you already establishing on something that you're good at, something that you already like. So they kind of go hand in hand, and they also kind of mean different things. But what I was saying, or what I agreed upon between your three answers, is that whenever somebody says, "Look, I want to find my passion. I don't know what my passion is," or they think they found their passion, just because they've found their passion or they want to find the passion doesn't mean that they have to give up on everything. You can be doing something entirely different. Gokul, you were saying you've seen so many people asking you, "I'm doing X thing, and I really like Y thing," and how do I want to switch between the two, or I want to make the leap of faith or whatever. Some people hit the jackpot. For some people it works out, good on them, but it doesn't always work out that way for everyone. And there's nothing wrong with pursuing two things. There's nothing wrong with continuing to do what you're doing while at the same time giving a decent amount of attention to whatever your passion is. Uh,
Okay.
I kind of see it as the best of both worlds, because you're doing one thing for your own sustenance, right? First and
Mm-hmm.
foremost, you're doing it for your own sustenance. You're doing it because it's necessary. You may or may not like it. That's another story entirely.
you know you
Doing
know
that.
you know what I like, Gokul like was sort of, was he was on to something, which was to be honest, personally I don't like this word passion so much these days, and you were saying passion is overrated. I'm so bored on with you with that. What's that all about, man?
So, you know what? I think so. When I meet a lot of these young people, especially artists or upcoming artists, right, or even entrepreneurs, right. So when I go to some colleges, when I meet those guys, right, they're like, "Sir, I'm really passionate about this stuff. I
Oh,
really
dude,
love this
yeah.
stuff. I want to do this
God,
stuff." You know what? I tell
I
them,
hate that.
be practical. End of the day, you need to put food in your mouth and probably your parents' mouth as well. And you've got to figure out a way wherein you do that first, and then and then once you have enough freedom, you can follow your passion. So for example, right, putting myself in that case, right. So for me, I always wanted to be driving race cars, but I can't afford to do it right now. But I wish one day I could do it, right? But that is my passion. So I tell them, be practical. There's nothing. Don't be blind behind the word called passion, the colorful word called passion, right? When people say follow your passion, don't be just blindly thinking that everything is going to happen automatically if you're going to just follow your passion. Nothing's going to happen automatically. You're going to end up a shit. You if it doesn't work out, right? So you better figure out your life in a way where it works out on a practical manner, and then you think if you can earn money, or if you can feed your needs with your passion. If not, you have to do something else, and then put your passion on a back burner, right? Or if you're lucky enough, if you're good enough, probably what you do itself turns out to be your passion.
What? Like, I have something on that, or add to what you were saying. Like, it might sound of bad if you don't put it right. Like when you say when you ask people to be practical, then they were like, oh, I need to get a day job somewhere or something. Practical in the sense, practical according to your context, whatever that works for you,
Yeah.
is practicality. I'm not saying don't aim high, or we're not saying don't aim high. Here's my approach: aim high, aim as high as you can, like look for the stars and just aim for the moon or whatever you want to, and all that cliche stuff. But put your feet on the ground at the same time.
Have a timeline, right?
Yeah, have a timeline. Yes,
Yeah.
have a timeline. This
Have
is
a
how.
timeline, have short-term goals.
Yeah,
Have,
yeah.
have a method. Have a method. Plan it all out.
And here's my thing. Here's how it works out for me. First out, you start out as a naive optimist. when you're like in early end of school or college, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be an engineer, you want to be this, you want to be that. Then you become a realist when life hits you in the face, right? Life punches you in the face like
Yeah.
hell, and you become a realist. Then once after that, then that is your game. You can either be the realistic pessimist for the rest of your life, or you can make the choice and be a realistic
Pessimistic realist.
optimist. Yeah. No. What is that?
He said pessimistic realist.
Realist.
Realistic pessimist or pessimistic realist, whatever. But no, here's the thing. If you actually become an optimist after that point, then you're good.
Yeah.
There's no point in people being optimistic when you're in 10th grade and you're in early college. You're just naive. There's no nothing. There's no special about being naive, right? You just don't know reality. Hence, you're optimistic. But if you get punched in the face, you know the reality, and then you're still optimistic. Then boy, then you're a real optimist,
Yes.
right? So that's how practicality works. That's how reality sort of works, and that's how I sort of approach things. Was that Adi? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's not only about people who are trying to find their passion or the
Dude,
practicality,
I
as
get
you said. But there- there's a-
constantly mixed up with your voices, man. Sorry.
No, I forgot what I was going to say, so I just I don't see
so
any
this is Sri speaking now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
there are I could find loads and loads of people out there, equally balancing out those people who are in paranoia to about finding their passion and making living out of it. But there is also a balanced out crowd, which who maintains a balance about their day jobs, who are quite well realistic about themselves and how to follow their passion. I know we keep seeing many creative people over there, creative entrepreneurs or photographers out there, editors, VFX editors out there, who are into their corporate day jobs and who head out for their creative projects on the weekends. So there are always, like I said, there's always an exception. So the cases are always exceptional, and there are lots of people who knew where they are and who knew their context and who knew their circumstances, and who already figured out that they need to earn first, they need to make a living out of it, and then doesn't matter if I'm enjoying the job or not. I need to do it for 4 days or 5 days in a week so that I can spend the rest of the weekend for what I love. It's for like food for your stomach and food for your soul. So
I have a
there's
theory
always-
about artists per se with respect to passion. I can give an example.
What's
I
that?
think most of the artists, right, who I've worked with, they're not passionate about actually doing workshops. They're passionate about doing art, sitting down in a lounge, having fun, sipping a coffee or a beer, drawing or sketching or painting anything they want. I think that is something that they're passionate about. But they're actually not passionate about workshops or actually making a drawing for a customer or whatever, right?
Right.
So I think the most of the people who are going to be listening to this are going to be artists or upcoming artists per se. So I think they've got to understand this difference, right?
Context to
So
artists.
What?
I think like Gokul said, I think we should speak about this with context to artists.
Right,
because
right.
So
Yeah.
majority of the people listening to this are like artists or upcoming
Yeah.
artists.
So
Very
I think the people who are listening have to understand the difference. I think this is an easy way to understand the difference between being passionate and actually getting ahead in your life, right? So if an artist wants to be just passionate, then he or she can be just sitting on a lounge, sipping coffee, beer, whatever I said, and just keep drawing, right? But that is not going to take him or her forward in life, or they're not going to be able to make their ends meet, or even put food on the table. But for them to do something with what they know, what they learn, they're going out of their comfort zone and teaching people, meeting more people, getting something done which will actually put food on the table, right? So when you are an upcoming artist, or when you were just starting out being an artist, just figure out what are the different ways or modes wherein you can actually use your talent to make your ends meet, like what Priyatham said, right? Probably you could 4 days a week, you could just be sitting around drawing some stuff. But on the weekends, if you can actually do something useful with what you've learned and actually make something out of it that will help you sit down and relax for the next 4 or 5 days, that is something that you can actually go after.
You know what? Okay, we need to sort of, all of us, we need to collect our thoughts and get on the same page right now. So the person who's listening to this is probably wondering, okay, I get all this, I get what you guys are trying to say. Okay, now
how to find my passion?
yeah. Wait, yeah, that is the question. Here's the thing. I'm 19 years old right now, or 21 years old, or 24 years old. I'm just graduated out of college or graduated out of high school. I'm looking at art. I sort of like art. I don't know what exactly am I passionate about in art, and or what am I even about passionate about anything. So what do I do now? Next steps. So what I'd like for you guys right now to do is, right, like, keep it short, keep it concise, and to the point, and give me like a couple of sentences on like what that person should be doing next. What should they be doing? Let's start with Shri. What should that person who's listening to this podcast right now should do if follow your passion is bad advice? By the way, do you guys like, or do you disagree with me or agree with me? Because I haven't heard a sort of like a disagreement with what I said.
With this question or something, or
With what in particular?
or passion, follow your passion being a bad advice.
Yeah. Well, so do you disagree with me or agree with me, or what is it? What do you say?
I'm kind of neutral about it.
Yeah,
I never say that. First of all, I don't give free advices. So
I saw that Instagram, dude. I'm like the opposite. I give free advices all the time. I don't give advices. I just share perspective. I'm not old enough to do that.
I don't think I'm experienced enough to give advice, so this doesn't.
No, it's it's not advices, man. Maybe we can just spread out our opinions on it.
Yeah, that's exactly. So yeah, like, do you disagree with me or agree with me? What's your stance on that? I just want to know.
I'm kind of neutral. I'm kind of between the boats because one thing is I always say, try to if you're good at something, and if you find yourself enjoying what you're doing, then that's your thing.
Exactly. That's also my point. Yeah.
It's not like this is going to be your passion. No, this is
geez.
Nothing like
okay.
That.
Hope I didn't come off to people like. Or don't follow your passion and go do engineering. That's not my point here. I'm just saying, to find fulfillment or happiness in life, trying to follow your passion when you're 19 years old with no clue of what the hell you're going to do is not exactly a good strategy on how to achieve that end goal. So that is my point right here. Yeah. Hope I was clear.
I have my share of experiences with many people who approached me or who approached themselves on a daily basis, or sometimes whenever I talk, they're always like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or I know that I'm good at something, but I don't know how to nurture it. I don't know how to find it. I don't know how to dig it out properly. So I think I'm not going to be rude on it, and I'm not going to be arrogant on it, but at some point or the other, people they need to arrive at a point where they have to realize that a constant practice and a certain commitment is only going to get themselves to somewhere which can be dependable for their day jobs. It's that consistency is what matters. Most of the people, it's not like spreading the negative vibes or generalization. Like I said, there are always a mixed mindset of people out there. It's not this. It's not like 50%. It's not 100% good or 100% bad. It's always yin and yang situation always. So like I say, just observe what you're enjoying. Observation, that's more important. Try to have a proper focus zone for yourself where you observe. That's no one is going to do it for you, because if someone says that, Sri, I'm sure you would enjoy some math, and what if I gave it a try? So I failed at numbers miserably. So no matter what anyone says, it's at the end of the day, it's only me who's going to decide on what I'm good at or what I'm not good at. So it's only you, it's only that person, who can actually know, if they're good at something or not.
I think to add on that, and I can relate to this more personally, because I myself, I'm not an artist full time. I've never been doing this full time as like a career or a freelancer kind of thing. I did mechanical engineering. I graduated some time back, and it wasn't until actually when I was in college, like you said, when I was 19 or 18 or 19, that I actually wanted to become more serious with my art. Because up until then, I loved what I did. I'm not saying that I didn't like art or it was just like a very passive thing to me. It's something that I've been doing since I was very young. Yes, but I think that I realized that it really was my passion. It really brought me fulfillment, and it's something that I want. It's something that I wanted to build upon. So I think my opinion to like anyone in the same position. Just because you're clueless doesn't mean you just discard everything and just sit and cry about it. If you're interested in something, or if you have an inclination towards something, research it. Talk to people, network. Try to learn more about it. Because the more you talk to people, the more you research, the more you divert your attention to it, you will begin to learn new things. You will begin to find out things that you hadn't known. You might even open up a new door for yourself. Who knows? Anything can happen. And I think that's exactly kind of what happened to me. I'd say I got lucky that way. Because I think when I was around like 18 or 19, I think that's the first time I met Sri. When I was like 18 or 19. And
Wait, how old are you now?
Uh-huh.
How old are you
What
now?
was that?
I don't know. How old are you now?
I'm 23. I'm 23 now.
Dude, I thought you were 21. What, 19 or something like that? I don't know. I thought you were like, since you always kept on.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thanks.
That's what people tell about me as well. They think that I'm 13.
No, yeah, they don't. They don't. They just don't. So, sorry, Adi, go on.
Yeah,
Finish your thing. Yeah.
As I was saying, yeah, I think that's exactly at that age when I realized I wanted to do something more with my art and with my passion. I think that's when I started trying to put myself out there.
Okay.
Trying to put myself out there more, trying to talk to people, and yeah, in the process, I met Sri, and in turn, Sri has connected me to a lot of good people over there, and we've really developed a bond. And through that, and through experimentation and through practice, trial and error, I think I've gotten to where I am right now with my skill. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying this is the end of the road for me. I have a long way to go. But it's just speaking on, follow your passion or whatever it is, or for those people who don't know what to do. I think it's more about self-searching in a way, because everybody has likes and dislikes. Everybody has an interest. Everybody has things they hate. Everybody has things they're good at. I think it's about trying to strike a balance between finding what you're good at and also something that you like. Okay, again, that's a gray area. Don't quote me on that, please. But yeah, I would
And
just
finding
say,
what pays.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and finding what pays.
Yeah. So just put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Network with people. Talk to people. Research on a lot on whatever it is you want to do, and I guarantee you will find answers. You will find some doors opening up for you. I'm not saying everything is gonna be like A plus all or no. The growth might be incremental. I'm pretty sure the growth will be incremental. It always will be the beginning. But that shouldn't deter you. Just because you feel like you're not getting anywhere with that doesn't mean that growth or progress isn't happening. Stick with it. Stick with it, and be realistic about your goals. Uh, you know, uh, keep those factors in mind, and yeah, try to strike a healthy balance between it. I'm not sure if I
All
make
right.
sense. But
No, to
that
top
sounds
it off with a
right.
cherry,
Yeah.
maintain all that with proper seriousness.
Yeah. If you're really into it, and I'm speaking from an artist point of view, if you're really into it, stick with it. Practice, and like Sri also says, consistency. Consistency is key.
Okay, Gokul. So, what to that person who is listening to the podcast and who wants to know how do I exactly go about this, me being lost or whatever? What do you say for that?
So,
What should they do?
if you are a if you are a high school student or just passed out of high school, right? Uh, I don't think you would have finalized on this is what you want to do until the end of your life. I would, if I were you, I would just keep my mind open, experience a lot of new things. Let's say you're good at art, keep practicing, keep doing the stuff, but that is definitely not the only thing that you might probably do, let's say 3 years down the line. So I don't think you would have found your passion, let's say at age 15 or 16, right? So I think there's still a long way to go. Keep your mind open, experience new things. Don't be definite or fixed upon on only one thing that you want to do. You might never know what you would like like in 2 years down the line or a year down the line. And so if you are a college graduate, right? If you're doing college, please don't drop out of college. Get your education done. And see, I'm not meaning to tell that
everybody's got their own thing.
Yeah, everybody's got their own thing, but then
why am I in the picture? I did my graduation.
Oh, you did it? Okay, I thought you dropped out of college, so never mind. So.
Never. I did my fine arts, man. What
Oh,
the
okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he's not an engineer.
Yeah. So please don't drop out of college. Get your education done. But then again, like what Aditya said, right? Keep practicing, and above all that, give yourself a timeline, right? Don't just follow your passion or what you like blindly. Give yourself a timeline. Let's say I was just discussing with Kesh before the conversation. He's like, you know what? There's a point in time when Kesh said that to himself that he's going to give 100 days of time to what he was doing, and then he figured, okay, this is something that I would want to do, and
to make my YouTube channel work.
Yeah, with which he can actually make ends meet. So that's something that you could probably put up. Give yourself a timeline on what you like and what you are passionate about, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, put in the back burner and do something that actually helps you out with your life, and then probably at some point you can come back and go with your passion, right?
Right. You know what? I have something similar. So what I want to do is I want to give out 3 pieces of advice for that 19-year-old Kesh who's got no clue in life. I don't want to give advice to other people. I don't do that. I just want to share perspectives. So here's to that kid, that 19-year-old Kesh who's lost, doesn't know what to do in life, who's trying to find a... Yeah. What is that?
Stay.
Stay?
Like an interstellar.
Oh.
Go back to your time and then just Kesh there.
Damn.
Stay there, hang in there.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say hang in there. To that person, here's what I say. 1, you need to change your mindset on how you actually approach things. Stop trying to look at passion as an end-all, be-all system for life. It's not the operating system of life. You're looking for passion because you want a fulfilled and a happy life, and you think that the work you do, the career you do is going to offer that. It will, but there are tons of other things in life. Life is more full and more wide and diverse, and not everybody is going to find the most ultimate satisfaction in work alone. You're going to find it in other places like family and doing other things other than hobbies, or doing other meaningful stuff. I don't know, something like that. So here's the thing. I would say to that person, change your mindset first on how you go about things. Stop looking at passion as a thing that you find. Instead, what do? You look at it as a thing that you develop. Think of yourself as a building, and each experience that you have, each new experience that you have is like a building block, a brick that you lay in that building. Some bricks work, some brick doesn't, and the bricks you lay will shape the way the building is going to look, or the way the building is going to be built. So
they're the foundation.
Yeah, sort of like, it's sort of like the foundation. Maybe not.
That's a bit direct, but
let me finish this. Yeah. So one, stop looking at things like that, and 2, when someone told me this advice, when I was looking for, when I was searching for or trying to find my passion, someone told me this advice. And I got really angry, and I was really mad when I heard this. It was this: if you don't know what to do something useful. And I was so mad when I heard this advice, but this is probably like one of the best pieces of advice I would give to myself. If you don't know what to do, try to do something useful, not for the society, not for your family, not for your community. Try to do something useful to yourself. Find something that's broken in your life, Find something that you want to work on in your own life. It can be anything. It can be your personal stuff, it can be your emotional stuff, it can be your physical stuff, it can be a project, it can be a drawing, it can be playing a music guitar or going to school, getting a degree, something. Find something useful, work on that and fix that. And you do that, you keep repeating that, and that will be useful. So that is one, change your mindset. And two, be useful, do something useful. If you don't know, if you're lost in life, if you don't know what you're doing in life, you might as well be useful to yourself and to the people around you, right? And through that you will find something. So the third thing is, of course, sculpt yourself, in the sense, experience as many things as you possibly can. Like, fill yourself with experience, experiment. You are going to sculpt yourself like a thing. Each and every brick that you lay is the way the building or that sculpture is going to look. So you got to sculpt yourself with all those individual pieces of experience. And eventually, when you're 55 or when you're 95 or when you're 105, you're going to look back and say, oh, this is what my passion looks like. Because right now, you're too early in the process. You can't see, you don't have enough bricks in the building to see the whole building. You'll be able to see the building once you're done building it, when you're 95 years old on your deathbed, and hopefully happy and fulfilled with your life. So that's how I go about, like passion or, things or whatever. Yeah. So what do you guys say? What was this all about? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with what Kesh said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of emulates what I was also telling. It's pretty, So I think end of the day, you've got to be cautious, practical, and try to figure out your passion as you grow as a person, right? And also, one thing that I would emphasize, like what Kesh said, is experiences matter a lot. Like, experience would actually sculpt a particular person. That's a very nice word that you said. So I think, the more you experience, the more new things that you're going to learn, probably your passion might completely change.
Yes. Yes, it changes a lot.
I think the more you experience it, the more that you're going to know about the world, and particularly yourself, and that's going to help you in your life on a long, long way. And
I really, like just like Gokul said, I think, I kind of think that there really is no one right answer to this question, because everybody has a unique,
a different way of approaching
it. A different way of approaching it. Nobody's wrong. Everybody has a point to make. Everybody is right in their own way. And I think, like Gokul also said, it's about learning from the experiences of others, because everybody will have a perspective to share. Everybody will have a story to tell. I think it's a collection of all these things. And like you said, Kesh, kind of laying down the bricks, fundamentally building upon what you have. I think all of these things put together, all of this collective experience put together, and the own self-work that you put in, I think in the end, that's what truly cultivates something. That's what truly cultivates passion. It's not just about hey, look, I'm gonna go find my passion. It's a labor-intensive process in a way, if you think about it.
Like on that, right? I just want to say something, which is, like you're saying, you building something, right? Most people are always in the choosing phase. Oh, I want to choose this passion, and they go into that. It's not as interesting as it was in their fantasy. Then they drop it and they go to another thing. And again, it's not as interesting as it was in the fantasy.
I agree with that.
I have an analogy on that. I just have like a little analogy on that, which is they're always steering a car left and right that isn't moving. So they're just standing in one place. The engine is turned off, and they're just constantly steering a car.
Wow.
Start your engine, man. Seriously.
That's so deep.
Yeah, it's like jack of all master of
No, I'm not kidding. It's like a good analogy, right? Yeah. They're steering a ship that isn't moving.
Right. Also, Kesh, what you just said, just kind of build upon that. What you said was exactly true. People, when they say they're trying to find their passion, or when they say they're following their passion, they have this idea of it so built up in their heads. They hype it up so much for themselves that when they actually put it to work, when they're actually practical about it, it may not pan out as well as they thought, or it may not go exactly in the direction as they thought it would. And they just end up dropping it. They just, like, oh wait, no, this isn't for me, moving on. And I feel that also sometimes kind of becomes a habit, like instead of actually diving deep and trying to work on it or trying to be a bit realistic about it, they just instead just build up these things in their head, and when it doesn't go exactly the same way in real life, they just
it all depends on the threshold limits of that person. We can.
It just kind of they just kind of fall flat.
Yeah,
So
guys, what do you think?
I have this formula that I wrote down.
What is that? Yeah, right. What is that?
So I wrote this formula down when I was thinking about this particular podcast about passion and stuff. So thinking about what I did, what I'm doing right now, and the experience that I've had and stuff, right? So I think the particular formula for success for anybody and everybody, right, according to me, is you've got to have passion, plus you've got to also have drive, and above all that, you've got to also have goal setting. So if you have all these three put up in an order, I think that's a success
Passion
formula.
Is sort of liking something, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you like something, then you go towards it. That's a drive. But then you also have to have a goal on what you want to achieve by doing it, right?
Good combination.
I think once you have all these three as a combination, I think you're destined to be successful. But the point is, it's very difficult to get all these three in place. But then you've got to work towards it. But I think So I think that's how I would define passion as, right, or success as. Why don't we give a final thoughts on?
Yeah, actually, before we give our final thoughts, right, I just want to explore one more thing. I think we're 1 hour 20 minutes in, right? I think we got to keep this short. So we all have sort of shared our perspective on passion, or how to go about finding your passion or something like that. And I don't know. I think I felt like I was everywhere on this episode. I don't think I've made a proper case for my why follow your passion is bad advice.
Wife? You mean
No, why not? What was that?
No, right. I think that's the thing. There was, like I said, it's just there's no one clear answer. It's multiple perspectives.
Yeah, but in this context, in this context, I think it would be a good advice for that person who I think was probably paralyzed by the idea that they need to find the passion to move forward in life, which I don't think is true.
Yes.
Rather, they should be doing something useful.
I think we all agree upon it, right?
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, I think I'm just like my OCD self is trying to sort of reassure that constantly. Anyways, so guys, I just want to like quickly talk about how to go about. You have something that you like, that you in life that you're meaningfully engaged in. Like I like what she said. Like observe yourself and find what engages you. Right. I think that's like the best advice someone can give. Like experiment and find things that you are meaningfully engaged in, that makes you go into that flow state or whatever. And so what advice, or what do we? I hate this word advice. So what perspective do we share to people who want to make a living out of art and drawing and creative stuff? How do they go about doing that? This is going to be a long podcast, man. This is going to be a long podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone.
I think
Or,
this is
hey,
a bit
you know
of
what?
a deep.
Should we make this into a part 2 of this podcast, where we talk about?
We can actually do that. We can actually do that,
can
like a
actually
0.5 version of it.
Yeah.
So
What is the point?
what the point? Yeah,
What
what
is
was
the
the point?
Like it's like 2.5, episode 2.5.
Oh yeah, or should we do it as episode 3?
I think there is a smooth transition between the two topics now, so I don't think it can be segregated properly.
You know
I
what?
don't
Yeah,
know.
we should
I guess.
probably what we'll probably lock it in. We'll stop here, and so, I think we have covered a good ground on our thoughts, right?
Yeah.
I guess. I
Shri
guess
and
we
Adi,
want-
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So great then. So we'll probably end it here. I do have a story. Should I share that story?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
What was the question you asked?
Oh yeah, you were just you were in the middle of a question. What advice or what perspective?
So that is going to be our next podcast, right? We'll do that for our next podcast because that's like a whole different beast. If you
it's going to be a huge, a deeper topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So just I have this final story. That's like a good analogy. Have you guys watched the movie Finding Dory?
No.
No?
No.
I've seen half of it because
Okay.
I had a chance.
Okay.
I've seen half of it.
The story goes like this. So Dory has amnesia, right? She's got like a consistent.
Dory's a fish, is it?
Yeah, Dory is so Dory is a fish. Dory is a fish in the movie played by Ellen DeGeneres, and this is like sequel to Finding Nemo. And Dory is a fish. She's got constant amnesia, and the second movie, the Finding Dory movie, is all about her finding her parents. And the movie starts out like this. So she gets this vision of her parents. She thought she was all alone in this the world, and all of a sudden she gets the vision of her parents when she was a kid. And what her parents thought was just this: follow the seashells, and that's the only thing that she remembers. And she remembers nothing. So Dory is a kind of character who actually goes by instinct. She just looks at two things and she'll be like, you know what, this would be a better thing to do than this. Then she goes into that. Then she goes into the next scenario and she'll be judging between two other things. Then she goes into that, and that's how she goes. And throughout the movie, she follows she follows that seashells, like one bit and one bit and one bit at a time. And she eventually, through a whole thing of events happening, like a lot of things happen, and she eventually at the end she finds her parent. And I think that movie is like a very good analogy on how to find yourself when you're lost.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, fix up. Please sponsor us. Yeah.
Spoiler warning for those who haven't seen Finding Dory. I think
it's not a spoiler anymore.
Yeah.
It's done.
But no, there could be people who haven't seen Finding Dory listening to this and like.
Okay,
The disclaimer is supposed to be prior to the explanation.
Kesh was about to say something profound and then it's kind of
Yeah, and it's wild. No. I think, dude, I love that movie because I think Finding Dory the whole movie is about finding herself. And that movie's got like a proper operating system on how to find it's like a guide on how to find yourself when you're lost. So you have this vision or where you want to be, but the thing is, the road that you want to try to get to that vision or to is probably it's not so clear. It's very unclear. So what do you do?
Go with your gut. That's it.
Yeah. So you go with your gut, or go with your instincts, or whatever the kids call it these days. I don't know. I'm a kid, so I don't know why kids.
You're not a kid.
Yeah.
You're full grown man.
Okay, whatever. So, like find those seashells. Find that first seashell that interests you. Yeah. Go after that seashell. Then find the next
word
seashell.
itself is tough, man.
What's that?
Seashell.
I know, right? It's very hard to say that. Seashells. Find those shells. That's better. Find those shells. Find the first shell. Find the second shell. Find the third shell. In the end, you don't have to have it all figured out. All you will have is a vision of where you want to be. The road will be always unclear. You just gotta keep moving, keep driving, and make the proper turns here and there, and eventually you'll get there. I don't know. I'm not there yet, so I wouldn't know.
What the shell?
I think it's pretty deep. What he said, as deep as an ocean.
So deep, man.
So deep.
As
deep. Hashtag
as
deep.
deep as the seashells.
No, my friend Varun, right, and my intern Varun, he said like, Kesha, you talk too much about philosophical stuff. You must start something called Kesha. Isha. I love Isha, by the way. I'm not making fun of Isha. I like Sadhguru. So.
Isha, please sponsor us.
Yeah, dude, you wanna get us? People are hardcore fans of that, man. You make fun of that.
I've been there multiple. I love the place.
Yeah, right. It's awesome. Yeah, I know. So, anyways, yeah. So I should probably start something called Kesha.
Yeah, man. You should. I can make business out of it.
Business out of it.
We can make humongous money out of it.
Shri is gonna do something Shisha.
Yeah, you could.
Adisha.
We could actually have three. We could actually have all three of you sitting down nearby each other with different color backgrounds and different shops in front of you guys selling. I can figure out a whole business plan.
Dude, I feel we're awesome mocking. I'm so scared, man. I'm not.
No, we're not mocking anyone.
Yeah,
So
we love Sadhguru. Trust
we
me.
love Sadhguru.
Love
Yeah,
Sadhguru.
I love his place. So,
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
didn't say anything about it.
Good.
she's like I love biryani. Period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've covered pretty much onto the point about the topic of the episode.
Okay, so tell people where can they find us on Instagram and YouTube?
They can find us on Instagram.
You guys can find us on Instagram at whattheart and YouTube at what's the handle?
What the art.
What the art
And Spotify.
we are on
Google.
Spotify, Google Podcasts, we are on iTunes, we are on SoundCloud, we are on every
Stitcher,
podcast platform that you can think of. And
Click on the link in the bio in Instagram handle, and you will see all the links where you can go listen to us.
yeah, and also like guys, like where can they find your work? Like Shri, where can they find your work? Like just give us your Instagram and your website.
It's at the rate Sri Priyatham. It's RAPRAYATHAM. That's
You can find my work at on Instagram primarily the _ Onyx method.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Where can they find you?
I'm
Gokul's
like, which Instagram handle do I say?
yeah, he's got like multiple stuff. He's a businessman.
So you can find me personally at gokulraj.gk, but then you can also should probably go check out my copy page or Madcap.
Right. Okay. And people can find me at my YouTube channel Kesh Art or my Instagram, which is Kesh RT, just RT, or my Twitter, which is Kesh RT. So Kesh Art is my brand. If you type it on Google, you'll find my face. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm so popular, guys. I'm so popular. So that's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for listening, guys. So next session is going to be an extension of this.
Yeah, sort of. We're going to talk about how to make money with your art or how to make art your living.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mix of a couple of important topics. I'm sure. I think it's going to be a good
Depends on the
blend of
moderator
transition.
who's going to moderate. Yeah, the next.
Yeah. So and also we are going to conduct a quick poll on the Q&A sessions for the next episode.
Oh yeah, we haven't covered Q&A, right? Damn.
Yeah, so yeah, we have to answer a few questions. To be honest, I think we have covered few questions already in the
Reminded me
topics.
that before I did the outro.
Yeah, no, I think in today's discussion we have covered.
No, I think we've covered the questions already passively.
Yeah,
so
we have.
we'll be conducting another Q&A session on the upcoming topic in the coming few days, and hopefully we'll drop the second episode ASAP.
Right. Okay. And that's pretty much it, people. Thank you for listening. This is the What the
Thank
Art
you all.
podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.